there, yogis. My name's Crystal Gray, and today I'll be guiding you through a flow for a tight neck or pain in your neck. Please remember to listen to your body and pay attention to its signals. You never want to go into a pose where you're feeling pain. So if something hurts, please back out of the pose or just sit in a resting pose until we move on to the next one. Okay, let's go ahead and come onto tabletop. So come onto your hands and knees and bring your knees about as wide as your mat, and we'll move into modified child's pose. Bring your hips back towards your heels and come down onto the forehead. Now, I like to bring the arms so that the fingertips are touching, the pointer fingers are touching, and the thumbs are touching. This just relaxes the shoulders and the neck a little bit more, and then the forehead can come to the ground. If your forehead doesn't come to the ground, please feel free to place it on top of a block. Hold here and breathe. Feel the breath moving into the back body. And with each exhale, just really let the shoulders and the neck relax. Let go of any tension, any tightness, anything that's stressing you out. Start to let that go. Just soften and round into the pose. Deep breaths. From here, slowly start to make your way up to the hands and knees, coming back into tabletop. Just take a couple breaths here. Start to breathe into 4 and out to 4. Really feeling your rib cage expand with the breath. Make sure that you're not looking up, which can kind of crank the neck and compress the cervical spine. So instead, keep your chin tucked slightly. Now exhale to begin. Inhale, start to look out in front of you, draw the chest forward and the shoulders back. Just look at the front of your mat, again, instead of looking up and cranking the cervical spine. Exhale, start to round the back. Bring your chin toward your chest. Inhale, start to look out, draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round, navel to spine, chin to chest. Keep going, breathing into 4. And out to 4, and letting the movement match the breath. Anytime something comes into your mind, especially those things that are stressing you out, come back to the breath. It's all a part of the practice, and it comes with time. Last one, round. And come back to a neutral. All right, so grab your blocks and keep your hips right above your knees. Come onto your elbows, onto the blocks, and you can just bring your palms together and slowly melt the upper back down. Maybe even the forehead comes down towards the ground. Make sure, again, you're not feeling any pain or compression in the neck. Just try to relax the chest and the upper back. Relax the neck. Relax the jaw. Deep breaths. Now engage your core. Now engage your core and slowly start to lift yourself up. Take little tiny movements to get back to the hands and knees. And move your blocks off to the side. Now, a couple options for the next pose. You can stand tall on the knees, or you can sit back onto the heels. We'll move into what I call half cow face pose. Okay, so I'm going to turn away from you so you can see what I'm doing with my arms. Bring your left arm up towards the sky and bend at the elbow, reaching and walking the fingertips down the spine. With your other hand, hold on to the elbow and just gently push the hand further down the spine, only until you're feeling a stretch and sensation, not pain. Breathe here. Make sure not to dump into the low back, so keep your navel drawn in slightly, stabilizing the core. Now bring that top arm down, and with your right hand, just pull it back and let the head fall to the right. Bring the head back to center. Now reach the right arm up, bend at the elbow, and with the other hand, hold on to the elbow. Gently push the hand further down the spine. Again, don't dump into the low back, navel to spine. Breathe here. Anytime you feel the need, exhale through the mouth, just really releasing and letting go. Now reach the top hand down and behind the back. And with the left hand, hold on to the wrist, gently pull it across the body as you let the head fall to the left. Notice where you feel sensation. Bring the head back up to center. Good. Take a couple breaths here or sit back and breathe. Close your eyes. Now from here, just very gently let the head hang forward. Let it roll to one side, gently drawing the opposite shoulder down. Roll forward into the other side, draw the other shoulder down. One more time, forward into the first side. And forward into the second side. Come back down to center. Take a breath here. Blink your eyes open and slowly lift your head. Okay, make your way back onto your hands and knees, and then we'll come into our downward facing dog. So from the hands and knees, spread the fingers apart, having the pointer fingers pointing straight forward. Push the knuckles down into the mat. And then walk the knees back a couple inches, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, and then push into the knuckles as you send the hips up and back. Roll the shoulders away from each other here, and breathe. Make sure that you're not lifting the head. Tuck the chin slightly. Push into the knuckles, lengthening the spine. And start to walk the feet towards the hands. Bring the feet as wide as the mat. And just come into a forward fold. Turn the toes in slightly so that the outside edges of your feet are parallel to each other. Let the head hang. Feel free to turn your head from side to side if that feels good. Do some little circles. Have a slight bend in your knees so you can really pour the spine out from the hips. Feel the length in the spine and the neck. Bring your hands to your shins. Inhale, come halfway up. Interlace the hands behind your back and exhale, fold. Maybe you can lift the fingers up off of the back and even more overhead. Let the head hang. Bring the hands to the low back, and then slowly bring the hands all the way down the backs of the legs, down to the ground, and walk your way back out into your downward facing dog, full stretch. And come down to the hands and knees. Sit back onto the knees or stand tall on the knees once more. And slowly let the head hang forward, keeping the rest of the spine straight. Just let the head hang. Take some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting go of anything that's stressing you out. Roll it to one side. Draw the opposite shoulder down gently. And forward and to the other side. Back down to center. Take a breath. Exhale through the mouth. And blink your eyes open. Slowly lift your head. For the next pose, you'll need one yoga block. Come onto the belly and place the block long way so it's parallel to the long side of the mat. Now bring your right arm behind you, out to the side, kind of like in a T, and then walk it just a couple inches up from there. Place the right side of the head onto the block, and then slowly push yourself open with your left hand. If this doesn't feel good, please don't do it. If it feels better without the block, that's fine as well. You just don't want the head hanging. You could even use a blanket here. If it feels good, you could even bring the top arm up and behind you. Just listen to your body and your neck. Just because it might feel good for some people, it might not feel good for you. Now slowly go to the other side. So the left side of the head goes down, left arm out, walk it up a couple inches, push yourself open. If it feels better without the block, that's fine. Just make sure that the head's not hanging. Top arm can come up and behind you. Only if it feels good. And slowly release. And come back to the hands and knees. Let the head hang to one side. Forward. Other side. Forward. First side. Forward, second side, forward. Lift the head, take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good job. Okay, now grab your blocks again and we'll come into puppy dog pose one more time. So they're about shoulder width. You can come onto the forearms and then walk your way onto the elbows. Keep your hips right above your knees and let the head hang loose. This time, if you like, you can reach your yoga, your Anjali Mudra, your prayer, up over the head, only if that feels good. Breathe here, softening down. It's totally fine if your forehead does not come down to the mat. Don't force it. Let the face soften. Now engage your core, push into the elbows, little tiny steps with the elbows until you can come all the way up to the hands and knees. Move the blocks off to the side, but keep them handy. We'll use them in a moment. And come to seated. Okay, so now sitting up tall, making sure that your tailbone's not tucking under, sitting right on top of the sitting bone so your pelvis is neutral. Bring your right hand behind and your left hand to your right knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from just the mid and upper back. And then if it feels good, turn the head. Looking back behind you only as far as it feels good to where you feel sensation. And come back to neutral. Inhale. Exhale, go in the other direction. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist from the mid and upper back. Only look back as far as it feels good for you. Shoulders stay away from the ears. And come back to neutral. Okay, so before we lay back into our final pose, let's just do a little bit of a self-massage. So let the head hang forward, and these muscles right here on either side of the neck, let's just grab our fingers, move anything out of the way that needs to be moved, any clothing, and just start to walk your fingers on this muscle here, right at the base of the neck. Kind of feels like a triangular muscle. Just pushing there, massaging, giving yourself a little love. And then bring your hands down to the knees. Let the head hang. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then slowly lift the head back up to center. All right, so now coming into the final pose, supported fish. Now to begin, let's start with the block behind that'll go under the head on medium height. The other block will be on the lowest height. Now this block here, so we'll want them to be about block distance apart. So as you lay back, you'll lay back and then you want the block under the shoulders, like on the complete opposite side of your chest. So right under the chest. You don't want it to be down into the mid or low back. Okay, and you also don't want it to be up too high towards the tops of the shoulders. It should be right on the, touching the shoulder blades under the chest. And then this other block will go underneath the head. Roll the shoulders under the back. Now you can have your feet apart, knees together, or if it feels better, legs extended straight out. If you feel like you need a little bit more, you can put the block that's under the head on the lowest setting, which will kind of tilt the chin back slightly. You might need to move your ponytail if you've got your hair up or in a bun, move that out of the way. And close the eyes, make sure that the shoulders are rolled open, the palms are facing up. If your legs are extended, the feet are falling out to the sides. Breathe here. Feel free to adjust as needed. Just because something feels good for me, it might not feel good for you. And take some cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then go of any last bits of tension that could be around. And then completely let go. Let the face soften, the forehead, eyebrows, the eyes, the eyelids, the cheeks, the jaw, the throat, the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, and the chest, and go all the way down the body, completely relaxing and releasing. And let the ground carry your body weight. And let go. Start deepening your breath. If you want to stay here longer, please feel free to do so. You can always hit pause and just sit and lay here, relax for 5-10 more minutes. Or complete your practice with a 5 or 10 minute meditation. Otherwise, bring some movement back into the fingers and toes. Roll your head gently from side to side. And slowly roll off of the blocks onto one side, using the bottom arm as a pillow. Breathe here. With the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself up to seated. Let your head be the last thing to come up and come to an easy cross-legged pose. Keep your eyes closed, palms open on the knees, sit up tall. And come back to the breath. Notice how you're feeling. Compare yourself how you're feeling now to how you were feeling when you first began your practice today. And bring your hands together in front of your heart into prayer. And let's close our practice and our time together today with one Om. Take a deep breath in. And then you can bow your head, bring your thumbs up to your forehead or your third eye, acknowledging the energy that's within you, around you, connects us all together and never goes away. That energy within me acknowledges that energy within you, and I thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice today. Namaste. So again, my name is Crystal Gray. I would love if you would leave a comment. Let me know how this practice was for you, and make sure that you join my Facebook group called the Yoga Goddess Collective. Have a great day. Namaste.